welcome to Lachlan's Live Show today. Another edition of the Great Podcast Show. As I was saying, came back with another podcast show yesterday. Just about different topics. Start my news now. Topic. Straight into the flow. Started on the RTE News. It just says there's a story there about Fox News. It settles Dominion defamation case for 787.5 million. That's a lot of money, as I was saying there. Case settled out. It had something to do with false vote rigging claims in the 2020 US presidential election. And then the other news, call on Sinn Féin to provide more dowdle information. As saying, there was a documentary there that was on there tonight about the Hutch, about the monk, about the investigation there at Regency Hotel. As I was saying there, the Hutch got off there yesterday. He was found not guilty, so that was the case there. And then more funeral of Great Britain takes place in Waterford. Committee on Assistant Dying holds first meeting. Judgment spells out issues with evidence against Hutch. Legal Affairs correspondent Ola O'Donnell examines the ruling of the Special Criminal Courts and how the verdicts of not guilty was reached in the case of Gerald Hutch. As we were saying there was evidence there that it wasn't very it was hard to know to find him guilty on the evidence they had. That's what I think myself. Tarnished the cause for return of Stormont executive. I see they were doing a bit of talking there today. It wasn't much, but at least they're doing something, as I was saying. The fairs there, as I was saying there, I went on a bit of a rant there yesterday about some unionists there that Mr. Alistair there, he's putting up tweets all the time. So I was just talking about that yesterday. Then that's the main news on the thing there. Just says about the exchequer surplus set to reach 16.2 billion next year, according to that. And then I'm just going now to do the sports. I see Leinster under 20, Dublin Surge past Fancy Mead and Navan. That was the score there. Mead 10 points. Dublin 14, and that's there. So that's there. That's on that. And then it was a pretty good win there for Dublin. All-time great Higgins eases in the second round. That's in the snooker. The snooker is on at the moment as well. Hearns sport an easy target for protesters in UK. There was a protest there. Fella got in there. I was looking at that myself. It's pretty naughty behaviour in my view. And then that's on the sports then, and then it says championship wrap. Kelly strike pauses Boney celebrations, and then GPL calls for crossbody female squad character according to that. And now I'm gonna see what's on the entertainment news there. I see Hamilton coming to Dublin stage next year. It has been announced the award-winning musical Hamilton is coming to Dublin, and then Fountains DC nominated for Ivor Novello Award. I see on that, and then that's on that. So now that's on the entertainment. That's on the RTE website. The business thing, as I'm saying there, I was talking about the exchequer there. Profits at Dermot Kennedy's touring fund rise to 1.77 million, and Kevin Baycost confirmed as new RTE Director General, according to what it's saying on the RTE website. And then I'll just go to the Irish Independent News, fresh off the scale there. It just says Fine Gael John Phelan confirms he won't stand the next election. You wouldn't think that was main news, but it's on the paper there. Businessman who racially abused Hurler Lee Chan writes apology letter but refuses to comment to reporter. And that's on that. And then Keith Middleton resents Meghan Markle after missing Queen's final moments. That's some more news there on the Royals. Shock as Molly and Tom Martin's retire delayed until autumn in bitter blow for Corbett family. It's delayed again, that court case, I see. And then Ireland AM McConnell, she has the thinnest amount of Botex. You wouldn't even think that would make news, would you? It's the smallest things make news. And then it just says a 16-year-old shot in head by homeowner after calling to wrong house to pick up his brothers. It's another story there. It's terrible. And then I'm devastated by Taylor Swift's breakup. This is why. So, and that's the other news then. And I think going to the entertainment news then is as follows. It says more about Hamilton. Finally, come. That's a good show actually there. And then more about the new director in RTE, Kevin Bacost. It would be Roy Keane's return to Salpin, new RTE Director General. I Am Here, new RTE doc reveals the hopes and dreams of Ireland's homeless. That was the documentary that was on there yesterday. I was mentioned it there. And Australian soap Neighbours starts filming in Melbourne for reboot. I see they starting filming there for Neighbours, and that's down there. And then I have a bit of what it says on the Wicklow Times here. Wicklow Garda a growing worry. It just says the Garda situation in County Wicklow is growing concerns with local opposition public representations. And that's on the front page there. County Dial secures funding to make Bray Seafront Playground accessible for children with disabilities. Wicklow Garda a growing worry, and that's from the front page there. Garda allowance bill exceeded 205 million. And then Easter Giant Avoca as pre-famine chalice rediscovered. They found a chalice there in the church. There's just there a silver and gold pre-famine chalice has been rediscovered in the parish of Avoca. The chalice dating from 1811 was discovered during a major clear out. Parish priest Michael Murphy, who was appointed to Avoca Lasso, has already undertaken renovation work on the chalice. So that's what story that was. I saw that report on the news or something there. Showcase events for regenerative tourist program for micro centre and community groups. And Wicklow awarded over 100 million for community monument fund. So that's there. And then just more about the hidden disability sunflower initiative launched. That's then, and then it says more then about. I was reading the paper there. Wicklow man completes a 0 days capturing the flag centre. Corrigan gets the key to city of Dublin, California. Let's go Bray, and then Kilcool student a finalist in national essay competition. That's the news then on that, and then. Orla Garland explores the music of Joni Mitchell. There's an article there. The Harbour Bar Bray. Classic album night comes to Bray this month. That's what it says on that. And then uh, the project has brought my love for music. That's more music again, a music exhibition that's on. So that's all then. That's on the Wicklow Times. It just gives the Alfa Romeo's new tonneau delivers efficient sporting suit, the new car there. And that's me. That's what's on the. I just thought I'd read that. That's on that paper there. So and then on the news, I think I done the news there. Oh, the news on the Irish Independent. Army officer who sexually assaulted female soldier at Dublin barracks is dismissed but spared prison. And then just more about the Regency's trial questions over John Dell's relationship with Mary Lou McDonald and Sinn Féin refused to go away. I wish Mam never met him. Daughter 12 of Jasmine Minogue, who was beaten and strangled to death, says killer ruined our lives. And then Pascal Donoghue supports Ireland's Euro 20 bid despite concerns about economic impact. That's then. And then Paul Williams writes a chapter close for the monk, but questions will now be asked about handling of Regency case. That's then. And Ukraine is preparing a new counter-offensive against Russia, I say. The Kremlin says Russian President Putin met his commanders in Kherson and Luhansk. That was that. Don't fall back into our hands. Mercenary group Wagner tells freed Ukrainian prisoners. And then more about the hunch, more about the monk. It shows you him leaving the court. There's a good bit on the papers now about the monk. Tony Honohan report on Trinity Post is a high-level blame game. That's what he says there. And then Fionn Sheehan, Leo Varadkar's weak leadership laid bare as Sinn Féin shows way on dissent over refugee housing. So that's there. That's the main thing on that. And then I don't have the Irish. I don't have the Irish Times news open. I must open that now. I have all the rest of them open. So the Irish Times. I think. Is there anything on it there? I normally talk as well about the Sky News. To give the headlines there, and then what it says on this. Fox News settles the same case there. Settles the case, and then Hume and Trimble put their careers on life on the line for peace, says Bill Clinton. They did make sacrifices, all right, the two leaders there. At the time, it was a great initiative there to get peace still in the north. And I just hope the people down there sort it out and go back to government. The Hutch Dowdle tapes, the secret recordings of the monk and the ruthless associate. There's an article on thing on that on the case there. I see, and then the sports section on this paper here, Gaelic Games. It just says more about the Dublin sluggish start to reach 10th consecutive final. GP launches state of play equality report. You're treated less than your male counterpart. And Jim McGuinness hard to know if Tyrone can return for 2020 All Ireland winning 11s. Jim McGuinness, hard to know if Tyrone can return to the 2022 All Ireland winning levels. There's a good few there, previews there. So there is a good few matches, as I was saying there, and I'll review it probably on the Brave People there. There's a good few matches coming up. On the Hogan Sand now, I didn't look at the Hogan Sand, the main thing. It'd probably say more about the game. So Reardon rejoins Swan as coach. That's the man that was playing for Tipperary. He's a great footballer. He's returning to join the Swans as coach. That's in Australia. And then Kerry survived Clare scare as Cork eased past Limerick in Munster under 20. O'Donnell sent for Banner return as Doyle misses out for Westmeath. And Dower rules missed chances. That's on that. There is a good few games, as I was saying there, in the Leinster Championship this week, and next Wicklow and Kildare are playing, so I'll go through that again. But the spread so far is a lot of people are picking Kildare. We seem to be giving it to Kildare. No problem there. So I would love to see Wicklow making a good fist of it there. Sky News now. Sky News, the top story there is it just says more about Fox News. I knew it'd say that. It seems to be giving you the same news on the papers here. Fox News agrees 787.5 settlement in defamation lawsuit with Dominion over coverage of vote rigging claims. And arrested SNP treasurer released without charge. 1 dead and 5 injured after multi-story car park collapse in New York. I guess it's a terrible story there. It's God. Hundreds of thousands could be prevented from voting in May's election, senior Tories say. And then more about up to 28,000 climate activists plan to flood central London during London Marathon weekend. As saying that what they done with the snooker was terrible. Netflix announced when delayed password sharing crackdown will finally be rolled over. And then climate for intervention by American leaders not suitable. Sudan's army chief says as millions remain trapped. And then more about Trump cared nothing for rules. That's according to Hillary Clinton. There's a video there on that. And then I see that Hillary Clinton is talking to Ryan Tubridy next week. He had her in the studio there. He's doing an interview with her there. And then the entertainment then on this. Just Harry Stein and Kate Bush among songwriters nominated for Ivor Novella Awards. Dame Kelly Holmes in contest pain from perimenopause. And then all made song featuring voices of Drake and The Weeknd removed from streaming services. And I was looking at that earlier on. Its photography award winner declines prize after admitting image was created using AI. So that was on the news about that. So, and Hollywood star Misha Barton joins cast of Neighbours. I see. It's busy shooting there at the moment. So, and then Gillian on his new film, The Convent. That's the new film that's coming out. There's there. I was just gonna go through the world news. It's the same on that. It's more about the Fox case. And I'm terrified by his life. Vladimir Kara-Murza's wife vows to fight for his freedom after he is jailed in Russia. Putin visits unoccupied Luhansk and Kherson regions of Ukraine. I see he was making tours there, doing a bit of touring there. I see, being a big celebrity there, killing people, as I was saying there, his army. So Hillary Clinton, Trump cannot win election, but Biden will. So that's what Hillary says, and I just hope that she's right. This man is, I don't know how he's doing it. It's laughable, really. He's going to go for the election and all what he's done. It's really a laughable story. If it happened anywhere else, they wouldn't get away with it. I can tell you that. This man is put up in an election. Oh my God, it's not right. It's about time that someone stands up to him or doesn't let him run. That's what I can say. Uh, so I give my views on this podcast. That's the good thing about it. I give my honest views, and I will. I won't be told what to do. So that's on the Sky thing. That's on the Sky News, and I think that's all the news down there that I have for you today on this podcast. This episode 39 podcast. I'm coming to an end now of this season. I'll probably do only one. The next episode, I think, will be the last episode of the season, and coming up with different ideas for another podcast. So I'll be finished after a very long season in my series of podcasts of news and sports. So I hope you enjoyed it. I am thinking of getting guests in for some shows, and I haven't got them in yet. So I hope you enjoyed my podcast today, and I'll be back with another one, my final one of the season. And I hope you'll be back with me. Episode 40. I couldn't have done any more, so I hope you enjoyed my show today, and goodbye.